This is a mini lesson analysis on Marth versus Sheik. Kind of nervous. Like, I'm a little bit nervous about these fair down tilts because, like, the Sheik could have CC'd all of those. I would have probably preferred to dash back there rather than down tilting. But it seems like the Sheik's not that strong at dealing with CC. So, like, I guess you could keep swinging. Instead of holding shield after getting needled, you could always like at least buffer roll rather than, and you could have time to dash back in theory as well. Don't need to keep holding shield. I mean, that whole sequence is getting you punished. And did not need a double jump fair. That the way how you dealt with that disadvantage kind of made you a little bit greedy there. And yeah, kind of a weird follow up. Like, one thing Sheik really punishes is like, how greedy are you going to be out of disadvantaged state? Because, if you're doing what you just did, where essentially you're trying to fish for reversals and the Sheik sees that coming, they're going to kill you off of that. So, and I also don't think this was a great play because like the Sheik was supposed to hit you while you short hopped. So that was like kind of another instance where I think you were fishing too hard. And you probably really should have just gone hit for that. And I think you're pushing this juggle a little bit too hard at the double jump bear. You could have easily done like a fast fall and then up tilt their landing for the same result, if not better. So the way how you're dealing with a lot of your disadvantage is very prone to high variance reversals. And not just on the Sheik, also on you too. So like rather than, a lot of the disadvantaged states, like sometimes you could go for reversals, but that's like pretty rare. What you should be doing a lot of times in your disadvantaged states is that you need to disengage in some way and find a way out of there rather than like, oh, I'm gonna try to like find like my double jump fair there, because Sheik is generally gonna punish you really hard for that. Also, one thing to know is this is somewhat similar concept and advantage too. Like I would have instead of like hard reading with that rising fair, you could have also done a dash back. A dash back doesn't necessarily guarantee you a hit, but it makes you pretty safe and will like check a lot of things. So I think that's something worth noting. And that forward smash was done a little bit too preemptively to catch their landing. I also, to be honest, I would have really liked to see a walk forward down smash, tipper down smash, rather than like trying to get this grab. I think that would just be a higher value option overall. Could also go for a shield drop down there if you are good at the timing, but this is one example of disengaging where you just like, yeah, like this is a good example of disengaging where that's how you should probably play a lot of your disadvantaged states. Could have drop down the platform and then up tilt again, and then that kind of gives you like a free opening in a way where the Sheik tried to play that aggressively, and and you could have gone a pretty good follow up off of that pretty safely. I think this is like a good example actually of like sometimes like you just have to do a reversal like this to catch them trying to react your tech in place. This is an example where even though this didn't work out, that's like a good example of going for a reversal play. Like same thing with that shield drop up air. Like it's like sometimes you just have to. And those are good examples because like you just don't have any other choice. So you just have to do stuff like that because the alternatives aren't much better. That's when like going for reversals like that is like, well, no duh. Another example of going for reversal opportunities is when it's also like relatively low risk, then yeah, sure, go for the reversal opportunity. But a lot of times, reversals are high risk in of itself. And compared to the other low risk option of just disengaging. And that's kind of like, I think the big thing that, yeah, like, you try to full hop towards them, trying to engage rather than like disengage. You also could have edge guarded this better because like Sheik can't like sweet spot below the ledge. Could have just stayed on stage and forward smashed. And now you're trying to engage a little bit too much rather than like disengaging a bit, like, deleting a little bit of space, reacting, and then making a decision off of it. Instead, you're just trying to hard commit a lot of positions, and that's getting you into a lot of trouble. There, that was like a good confirm that like, he full hopped and was like, okay, I hard read you. I'm gonna forward smash you now. And again, just these, just in today's meta, like just engaging with fairs and down tilts with Sheik that close is very scary. Oh, good. Good. This is like that. That was the kind of play that, like, this wasn't like a hard read per se. Like, you just disengage for a bit, and then there's no other options she can pick, and then get fucked. Like, that was a very good forward smash. Um, and there wasn't really that much lunging. It was just all like good confirms. Could have tap jumped out of there for sure. Yeah, instead of shielding, you could have definitely up tilted their landing to the side platform. Up throw. Could have up throw, up tilt, and now you went for the read that is pretty risky. You know, when I warned you earlier on about the advantage states thing, the dash back is a safe, like, low variance option, whereas like the rising fair and this forward smash is a high variance option where it could give you more straightforward follow-ups, but also is way more prone to failing. So a lot of the times you're not checking, you're not disengaging when you are in advantage and disadvantage states, primarily in disadvantage. And I want you to try to do that more often, especially against Sheik.